Have you ever wanted to make a video and it was a very deep subject that you wanted to cover and you felt like you would never get your point across no matter what you did or how long you took to do it? This may be one of those videos, but I'm going to try. What prompted me to do this is through the years since I've been on YouTube, I guess since 2006, every now and then I'll do a political video. I do actually try to stay away from them, but sometimes I just can't help myself and I have to do them. Well, I'll have sometimes I'll have people make comments that I'm claiming that certain political parties or people believe things that political parties don't believe, or that people can believe different things and they don't have to be represented by certain values or political parties. And I guess that my attempt, and I may not even be making my point now, but my attempt here is just to try to help educate some people, because it seems prevalent among younger people who haven't studied politics and who haven't studied, liberalism, socialism, conservatism, democracies, republic, all of the different dynamics of the political arena. It seems, and they certainly don't teach this in schools. Basically, public schools, you have the sort of the leftist mentality, either a Democrat or socialist agendas being played out in public schools. And again, see, people will argue with me about that too, but maybe through actually researching, people will find that this type of dynamic is not taught in public schools. So anyway, this is my attempt to start a conversation, and I spent several hours putting this matrix together, and I'm calling it ArtisanTony's Political Value Matrix. And let me just try to zoom in on that part of it. So what I have here across the top is what I think are the dynamics represented. So you've got the far left, socialism. You've got left of center, basically Democrat. In the middle, you'd have your independent, Tea Party, libertarian types. And right of center would be basically Republican, and far right would be conservative. And so then if you look at my legend, which the word legend doesn't show up, I forgot to, let me reprint that now. And as a matter of fact, while I'm reprinting this, if you all want to go to the link that I have in the description and print this off and follow along, that would be cool, because I can't show everything on this page the way you could view it in person. So I'm going to reprint this. If you want to press pause right now, you can go download and print your copy or have it on your screen while I'm talking about it. Pause. Okay, I'm back. I reprinted it, and I realized it didn't print everything. So here's my legend. Let me back out just a little bit. And what I tried to do is simply just interject some color here. So the two colors are basically the two dynamic, or the two extremes agreeing on a subject. So the red, which is typically associated with Republicans or conservatives, strongly agree for them, and blue, which is typically associated with liberals or Democrats, that color is strongly agree on their side. And then I just have some gray areas, like just agree, disagree, strongly disagree. And so what I tried to do was take all of these on the left here, sort of platform issues or values or ethics, whatever you want to call them. See if I can zoom in on those, which are typical, political values or ethics or platform buttons, bullet points. Foreign aid, wars and nation building, school vouchers, supported business, property rights, states' rights, personal liberty, constitutional issues, limited government, free markets, balanced budget, term limits, religious freedom, two-party system, stimulus and bailout plans. It just goes on down. Federal Reserve, welfare, safety net, environmental issues, one world government, Supreme Court as lawmakers, same-sex marriage, taxation and redistribution of wealth, internet regulation, abortion, union support, education by government, illegal immigration, gun laws, and government-run health care. So I tried to go back and assign the color that was appropriate for each issue. And just to share a few of these, what I found interesting was there's only really one place I found that they actually both agree. Remember, the dark colors, the blue and the red, are strongly agree for each side. So take term limits. Neither Democrats or Republicans want term limits. The two-party system. Obviously that's going to be a place where Democrats and Republicans both strongly agree on that bullet point, because neither party wants to give up its position as one of the two parties. You would have them both strongly agreeing. Another interesting bullet point here, or value or ethic, is religious freedom. Let me zoom in here on some of this. Religious freedom. You would think the extreme left and the extreme right would believe in religious freedom, but because the extreme left basically are typically atheists, and the extreme right are typically conservatives, Christians in the United States anyway, they're both going to have their own limitations on what they consider religious freedom. So I thought that was interesting. So I just put question marks in each of their categories, and then the only true religious freedom people, as far as political parties go, are the independents, because they are the only ones who truly believe, in my opinion, that you are free to believe whatever religion it is. And usually on the left, if you're an atheist, they're happy with that, or if you're, one of the extreme radical religions, they're happy with that, and not happy with this side. And it's the opposite. If you're a Christian or whatever, they're happy with that, but they're not happy on this side. So I don't know. It's funny how this kind of works out. It kind of starts to show really where people stand on issues. And this is not scientific. This is basically my opinion. I did do about 2 hours worth of research to see if some of the things I feel like conservatives strongly agree with and don't agree with line up properly. But in the end, I guess it's just my opinion. What I did was I actually went back and regrouped these colors. Like, again, they were all, when I first started, I just listed a bunch of bullet points or platform points here. And these colors were all distributed, pretty much evenly. But what I did was I went back and grouped them on purpose, just to show how much of a divide there is between the two, basically the two sides. So what you'll end up with is a whole area over here of, strongly disagreeing for these issues from here down, and vice versa. So it's kind of interesting. I hope you'll at least take the time to download this, because what I'm actually hoping someone will do, a couple of people will do, is take this and I'm offering it as an Excel file, so you can actually take it and alter it and email me your version back. And I wouldn't mind in a couple of weeks or a month or whatever going over this again and showing your opinion on your matrix, and I'd be happy to do that in another video. My ultimate goal is to try to get especially young people to start to study the different political parties, the different value systems, the ethics. Because, you know, I hear this a lot in my comments. Well, you just can't call me a liberal just because, you know, I disagree with these points. Well, yes, I can. Because over history, you know, throughout history, we have all agreed as a society and as humans that there are certain things that certain types of people believe in. And it's just natural as humans. We tend to fall together in groups, you know, of like minds. And over time, we have agreed that people who believe in these things are conservatives or Republicans, and people who believe in these things are liberals or Democrats. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way it works out in human nature. And I don't really know if I'm getting my point across, but the main issue here and the main challenge I'm trying to get to is to get especially younger people to read more and research more about the political parties, what their platforms are, what their value systems are. Okay, and then you can go and start arguing with people or debating, hopefully, your points intelligently. Because, you know, if you're telling me that you believe in abortion, but you also believe in school vouchers, you see, or something like that, where you're on the opposite ends of the spectrum, that's fine. That's fine if you believe that way, but you can't turn around and say that, you know, liberals or Democrats don't believe that, or Republicans or conservatives don't believe that, because it's true. You can tell me you believe those two things, but you see, that's the disconnect between people who haven't studied this stuff, is that they will try to tell you that there are no labels, or that there are no real parties, or there's no differences. And there are differences, and there are major differences. There are major divides. You can see the dividing line here between the far right and the far left. It's very obvious, and all you have to do is research and learn. So anyway, I'm hoping this will spark some sort of debate. This may be my lowest viewed video. I hope not. And again, you can go download this spreadsheet. There's a link to it on a Google Docs account that you can download it. And if you want to send it back to me the way you feel it's corrected, that's fine. And if you want me to show it in my next video regarding this issue, if you have some points that I haven't made that you would like to make, it's really hard to go over each of these and talk about them in a few minutes, but I think you all get my basic point. I hope so. So thanks a lot, guys.